Hey guys, so I finished a swap that I'm doing with Carmen, and previously I showed you the envelope with the secret box inside of it. I made another one for Carmen since that was just my kind of first time to make it. Wanted to try out and see how that would turn out. I did create another one using some different papers, and this one is actually slightly different style and size, I guess. Here is the envelope stack. I've been really more into like sort of less fussy things for the last probably 2 or 3 years now. So when I make shabby projects, I try to make them more simple but still very pretty and elegant. So here's my envelope stack, and this one I can measure it for you. It is about 2 inches tall. The box on the inside is 1.5 inches deep. So I'll show you that. But all I did for this one, I actually used some digital papers that I had. I think I might have purchased them. That I've had in my stash for a little while now. And I think these came from Knitwits. Some of them did. But they're from various, probably, companies. But so this is printed on some heavyweight cardstock using my wide format printer, which does like, I want to say it's like 13 by 19 sheets of paper. So the images that I blew up are really big. And that's so that I could make these very large envelopes. And again, I used my envelope punch board to make all the envelopes and then just inserted the cardboard in there. So for this one, I just simply tied some seam binding around it. I didn't make it really, you know, fussy on the top or anything like that. I kind of like the simplicity of it. So it's just tied here at the top. And it really doesn't need the seam binding to keep it closed because it doesn't, you know, pop up or anything like that. So here I have some vintage postcards that I purchased while antiquing, and I photocopied them, not photocopied, I scanned them in so I could actually make them bigger or smaller if I chose. So this is one of the back sides of the postcard, and it has the address on it. And I actually cut some stamps out from them as well. And there is a stamp here that I have in my stash. It's a very light colored stamp on purpose because I wanted to keep the shabby feel to it. And then I used some like new lace that I had gotten from the Crafty Me shop on Facebook, and kind of just tucked it in like they were sticking between the layers of the envelopes. Not too much of it, just a little bit to make it, you know, a little more feminine. And then when you open the top of the box, you can see I've also put one of the front sides of a postcard that I have. And the stamps were put on the front instead of the back where the message is. So this is a vintage lady. There's a vintage postcard stamp there. And then I did the same thing here around the opening of the box. I layered postcards, the images of the postcards I had around the opening of the box. And you can see there's the box. I'm going to be filling this with some goodies. Now this box, as I said, it measures 1.5 inches deep. It's 5 2 3/8. Is that right? 5 3/8 wide, and about 4 inches. Yeah, about 4 inches in length. So it's a good sized box to fit stuff inside of it. And you can see there's 2 different images of postcards here that are vintage. I just cut around, cut the opening into them basically, and use this as my little topper. So you can see this particular envelope that is the first part of the box also has like stamped images. And I went through and picked out different stamps this time from the other box and just kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but I put stamps on all the envelopes, like postage or registration marks on all the envelopes here. And then on the back, I used another seal that has a heart in it. And all I did was, again, I dripped this onto my Teflon mat, and then instead of putting it directly on here, I glued this down once it was cool. And then there's my Handmade by stamp that I have for my projects. So yeah, this is my second stack, and I really had a lot of fun making these. Thank you, Carmen, for agreeing to swap with me, because I've been really wanting to do this for a while. But of course, actually, let me do it like this. I'm going to stick this in the box because I need to fill the box with some goodies before I send it to her. But that is my project share for today, and thanks for watching. Bye.